Could America's favorite farmhouse power couple be just one demo day disaster away from calling it quits? Chip and Joanna Gaines have spent a decade selling us the fairy tale image of an unbreakable marriage. But lately, eagle-eyed fans and a swirl of insider leaks hint that the Magnolia empire may be propping up more than pretty shiplap walls. Keep watching, because the clues you're about to hear might change the way you see fixer-upper forever. We frequently post videos on topics like this, so don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to stay informed and never miss an update. The no-quitters pledge that sparked doubt. Chip loves to remind interviewers that throwing in the towel is not something that ever comes to mind. He even called that mindset the couple's superpower during an Access chat, insisting divorce will never be an option. Yet psychologists warn that repeating a promise so emphatically can be a red flag, almost a subconscious admission that the topic comes up more than they'd like. Tabloids seized on the quote, stoking theories that the Gaines' broadcast marital strength precisely because it's under strain. For builders who teach us to trust the studs behind every wall, that public bravado suddenly feels, well, a little over-engineered. But if the pledge was meant to silence rumors, it only poured gasoline on the gossip. And the next admission made things even spicier. We're evolving into each other. Sweet or subtle SOS. In their 20-year anniversary profile, Joanna said she's shifting into Chip and he's becoming more like her, while Chip called this the second part of our marriage. Relationship counselors note that when longtime partners blur identities, they either emerge stronger or discover they've lost the spark that made them click. Fans took the interview two ways. Hopeless romantics swooned, but skeptics heard a coded plea that something fundamental feels off. Add the fact that Chip hinted they hope in 20 more years they'll still feel meant to be, and suddenly the comment sounds less like forever love and more like crossing fingers. Still, quotes on glossy magazine pages can be spun 100 ways. It took viewers themselves to call out a shift they could actually feel through their screens. On-screen chemistry that feels like parents trying not to argue. A viral Reddit thread exploded during Fixer Upper. The Castle, with longtime fans lamenting that Chip's once playful antics now seem like forced tension breakers. One commenter likened the vibe to parents who can't stand each other trying not to argue in front of the kids. Others observed that the duo's side glances looked more exasperated than affectionate. While Reddit isn't a peer-reviewed journal, crowd wisdom rarely aligns this sharply unless something genuine is peeking through the edit. Remember, these episodes are polished by Magnolia's own team. If discomfort still leaks out, imagine the raw footage. And if you think an awkward episode can be chalked up to filming fatigue, consider what the couple quietly did next. The secret 3-month Magnolia sabbatical. In mid-2024, Chip and Jo vanished from network meetings, leaving deputies in charge while they took a hush-hush 3-month break. Joanna later confessed on the Business of Home podcast that for the first time in 20-plus years, she needed to get outside the business and simply hunker down with the kids. Publicly, the story was framed as soul refreshment. Privately, insiders whispered it was marital triage, a chance to untangle family life from a media empire spinning out of control. At minimum, the pause shows they recognized a pressure point intense enough to risk momentum in a billion-dollar brand. But time away only works if both partners share the same dream. Fresh reporting suggests their creative visions are drifting apart at breakneck speed. Luxury versus modest, a battle over the brand's future. Fame has changed both of them, an insider told Pop Culture, claiming Joanna now pushes for high-end aspirational renovations, while Chip fights to keep projects relatable and budget-friendly. That tug-of-war reportedly spilled into tense hotel builds and late-night edit sessions, with friends saying the marriage now feels mostly a business. Rumors suggest board meetings end in stalemates, pushing Chip toward rustic ranch series ideas and Joanna toward curated luxe makeovers. When your entire public image is built on perfect partnership, a creative schism can feel like an existential threat. Which might explain why Joanna just made her boldest professional move yet, without her husband on camera. Joanna's solo leap, Mini Rennie. This spring, Jo premiered Mini Rennie, her first Magnolia series where Chip only serves as a producer. The half-hour episodes focus on weekend-sized transformations. Totally her show, her voice, her rules. In press interviews, she framed it as empowering fans to make a big impact without whole-home gut jobs. Admirable, yes, but audiences couldn't ignore the deeper signal. The brand's creative heartbeat no longer beats in sync. Social chatter asked if Jo was test driving a solo identity, while Chip made only brief promotional cameos. And while Jo carves her own lane, Chip has quietly greenlit a back-to-basics concept that doesn't feature her at all. Chip's frontier gamble and what it could mean. Launching July 10th, Back to the Frontier drops 3 modern families into 1880s homesteader life, an old-school social experiment Chip executive produces for Magnolia and Max. Industry watchers see it as Chip doubling down on rustic authenticity, worlds away from Jo's polished Mini Rennie. Competing premieres within the same network could be friendly diversification, or assign their hedging bets on separate fan bases. If the ratings gap is wide, execs may pressure the pair to choose a single lane, or worse, pick solo paths for good. Conclusion: Chip swears they're just getting started, yet each new interview reads like a cautious declaration, not a victory lap. Rumors of diverging ambitions, on-screen awkwardness, and strategic solo ventures keep piling up. Could these be the natural growing pains of a couple maturing under spotlights, or the final cracks before the shiplap splits? Only time will tell. For now, every Magnolia premiere, podcast reveal, and Instagram caption feels like another clue. So hit subscribe, because if the next renovation in Waco turns out to be their relationship itself, you'll want front row seats when the walls come down, or when they prove every skeptic wrong once again.